What I heard from the choir and guest cellist Sasha yesterday was stunning, moving and hopeful all at the same time, and I hope that you are as moved by this music. I'm looking forward to hearing it again. Washington Women uplifts the voices of women serving in and connected to national government over the centuries. It connects to Unitarian Universalism, to our church, by uplifting our values. As we value justice, we value democracy, a central theme of the piece. Our values of both pluralism and equality support inclusion of diverse voices in all areas of human endeavors, such as the imperative of women's involvement in our government. We live out the love at the center of our religious tradition through work toward justice.
Good evening. As Reverend Holly said, I'm Anthony Edwards, and I have the privilege of being the music director and director of worship arts here at All Souls and the leader of this fantastic choir. I'm so happy that you're here with us, and I'm happy that we have our friend Sasha Groshon tonight on cello. She's a wonderful guest and has played here many times, and we're so excited to have her. As David Chase and Judith Clurman write, they're the composers of Washington Women. Washington Women is a collection of musical settings of iconic texts, taken from speeches, opinions, and interviews from 16 remarkable women from across the political spectrum, all of whom spent time in Washington, D.C. First ladies, senators, congresswomen, Supreme Court justices, secretaries of state, and a vice president of note, and speakers of House of Representatives. The music delivers a message that are relevant to today's world. Each one of these women found hope in the responsibility and possibilities of the American dream. By setting their words to music, we hope, David and Judith write, that you will hear these words in fresh ways. Learn more about these women and discover why they spoke these words when they did. And most importantly, we hope that Washington Women inspires you to speak out as well. In addition to the words of these Washington women in the choral suite through selected readings this evening, we will share supplemental thoughts on the responsibilities of citizenship from Ruth Bader Ginsburg, plus the words of two Unitarian women ministers reflecting on our democracy and her leaders. Tonight, we dedicate this performance and this presentation to the memory of our dear friend, Mary Lindsay. Mary was passionate in her pursuit of social justice. She worked tirelessly to serve the Missouri League of Women Voters, and she served on their board of directors. She was a member of this church and a member of this wonderful choir, and was dedicated to seeing this piece of music performed here in this church. She would be very happy about today and your presence here for this performance. Mary personified kindness and compassion. When I shared this work with Mary and our choir, all of our immediate responses was and is that the relevance of each of these women's voices inspires you to participate in and experience democracy in a different and meaningful way.
centuries now, people have come to this country from every corner of the world to share in the blessing of religious freedom.
People have come to this country from every corner of the world
To share in the blessing of religious freedom, of religious freedom.
Our Constitution promises that we may worship in their own way, without fear of penalty or danger.
That in itself is a momentous offering. Yet our Constitution makes a commitment still more remarkable.
However, these individuals worship, they will count as full and equal
American citizens. For centuries to share in the blessing, in the blessing, in the blessing of religious freedom.
People have come to this country.
People have come to this country to share in the blessing
In the blessing
of religious freedom, of religious freedom,
Equality in a Sea of Inequality by UU Minister Reverend Peggy Clark. When this country was founded, the aspiration was high. The men who imagined it dreamed big, casting a vision of a world where all men were created equal, where rights were endowed by our Creator, transcending culture and the expectations of the day, where life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness would be allowed and enjoyed without infringement. It was a radical and new vision, born from Enlightenment optimism, inspired by scientific discovery. It was an intoxicating vision, as bold as the Protestant Reformation that swept all of Europe. And they had the hubris to believe they could make it happen. They staked their claim in the Declaration of Independence and institutionalized it in the Constitution. They elected their first president, and when he stepped down, relinquishing power to return to the role of citizen, those founders believed they lived to see their vision realized. A new president ran for office, and the republic was up and running. It was done. A new world order. Those men weren't distracted by the genocide they inspired or the enslavement of other people they required for this nation to be born. They declared equality while swimming in a sea of inequality. When they declared all men were created equal, they meant white Protestant men. They didn't mean women. They weren't including black men who'd been enslaved or those who were free. They didn't include Catholics, Jews, or people who didn't own land. They were so proud of their inclusivity, so inspired by their cutting-edge philosophy that they had no idea how narrow it was, how constrictive, how small a vision. The men who wrote those words were calling into being a more perfect union. They were establishing justice, ensuring domestic tranquility, securing the blessings of liberty. They believed that they and the men of their generation would will this new nation into being. They would establish the structures required for such a grand vision. They would test it, and then it would be done. They didn't realize it would take many more people, many different voices. They didn't know how many generations would have to be part of the creation of their dream, how long it would take before the nation they imagined would be made manifest. The soul of America has yet to be born.
Freedom makes a huge requirement of every human being. With freedom comes responsibility.
Human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are human rights, and human rights are women's rights, once and for all.
With freedom
Human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are human rights, and human rights are women's rights,
once and for all. The search for human freedom can never be complete without freedom for women. The search for freedom, human rights, and never be once and for all. Freedom comes responsibility, once and for all. Shout loud about Americanism. Shout loud about Americanism. Those of us who shout the loudest about Americanism while making character assassinations are all too frequently those who by our own words and acts ignore some of the basic principles of Americanism. The right to criticize, the right to hold unpopular beliefs, the right to protest, the right of independent
be reading excerpts from Ruth Bader Ginsburg's remarks from a naturalization ceremony for new citizens at the New York Historical Society in 2018. A French observer of early America, Alexis de Tocqueville, wrote, "The greatness of America lies not in being more enlightened than any other nation, but rather in her ability to repair her faults. Through amendments to our Constitution and court decisions applying those amendments, we abolished slavery, prohibited racial discrimination, and made men and women people of equal citizenship stature. In the vanguard of those perfections were citizens just like you, of every race and creed, making ever more vibrant our national creed. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. We have made huge progress, but the work of perfection is scarcely done. Many stains remain. In this rich land, nearly a quarter of our children live in deep poverty. Nearly half of our citizens do not vote. And we still struggle to achieve greater understanding of each other across racial, religious, and socioeconomic lines. Yet, we strive to realize the ideal to make a more perfect union. As new, well-informed citizens, you will play a vital part in that endeavor by first and foremost voting in elections, serving on juries, and engaging in civic discourse. We sing of America, sweet land of liberty. Newcomers to our shore, people like you, came here from the earliest days of our nation till today, seeking liberty, freedom from oppression, freedom from want, freedom to be you and me. May the spirit of liberty be your beacon. May you have the conscience and the courage to act in accord with that ideal as you play your part in helping to achieve a more perfect union. Thank you.
Fearless and ambitious.
ladies remember and be more generous.
Remember the ladies, remember the ladies, remember and be more favorable,
And be more
generous,
and be more
favorable,
and be more
generous, and favorable to them than your ancestors. More generous, more favorable to them than your ancestors. To them than your ancestors. Do not put such unlimited power. Do not put such unlimited power. Do not put such unlimited power into the hands of the husbands.
The Leaders We Deserve by our own UU minister, the Reverend Dr. Kendall Gibbons. And this is from October 2013. We remember the principle as be the change you want to see. But people do not always make the connection that we must also become the leaders we hope to find. Let me assure you that although the subject has a particular urgency because of the current impasse in Washington, I do not know how to fix it. If I did or thought I did, as much as I love you all, I would not be standing around here. What I do think is that dealing with a democracy is a bit like dealing with a computer. It does what you've instructed it to do, not necessarily what you wanted it to do. We are experiencing the Congress that we, the people, have elected. Now, I know that the liberals will complain about the impact of corporate money, but the truth is that at least so far, what that money buys is persuasion. It persuades voters to cast their ballots for certain candidates, and it persuades politicians to advocate for the interests of potential donors so that they might get elected and stay in office. Today, I want to argue that if we, the voters, held more appropriate expectations of our leaders, and if our leaders adhered to a better understanding of their own integrity, this avalanche of money would be less determinative. Money will always matter, no doubt, but it wouldn't matter as much. I rather suppose that we will only have such leaders in Washington or anywhere else to the extent that we strive to become such leaders. If all we want is a set of advocates for our separate interests, whose highest purpose is to make sure that we get what we think is our fair share of the common good, then we will remain embedded, like toddlers, in our greed and our fear. And there will be no one to cast a vision for the more noble lives and more noble society that we might have the opportunity to build together. These tasks are woven into every part of this congregation's mission statement. The work of leadership is not optional if we're going to be who we say we are. The sage who led India's nonviolent revolution taught us that we must be the change we wish to see. But more than that, we must become the kind of leaders we wish to follow. And the truth is, any one of us can be that leader if we're willing to sacrifice familiar comfort for the challenges of growth and think clearly about our own function in the system's authentic purpose. Democracy can never supply us with representatives greater than the aspirations we have for ourselves. We will never be able to hold our elected leaders accountable to standards that we don't also use to measure our own integrity and wisdom. The leaders we deserve are the leaders we are striving to become, no greater and no less than that. May the opportunities here in this covenant community provide the opportunities to practice, in an atmosphere of support and forgiveness, the skills of leadership. May these opportunities summon us all to the growth in self-understanding that makes us ever more whole, and to the wisdom of the truth that makes us free.
And if the Lord has a mind so teach our children that everyone in this country matters.
I want a president who will teach our children that everyone in this country matters.
Who truly believes in the vision that our founders stood for all those years ago. I want a president who will teach our children that we are all created equal. We shall be overlooked on the great American truly believes in the vision that our founders stood for all those years ago. I want a president who will teach our children that we are all created equal. We shall be loved and part of the great American story. The great American story. I am never eyes will be
In this political climate, blech, even those words make me feel bad. There have been so many reasons for frustration, for fear, for despair, and for anger. It hasn't all been bad, but it's been bad enough that I have chosen to stop looking and listening to the ads, to the lies, to the hostility, to the divisiveness. I've even gotten to the point where I worry about whether or not this republic can stand. But one thing has brought me back from the brink, and I hope you have felt it tonight too. Washington Women has provided the antidote. It reminds us that this country has been in a bad way before, and it has survived. It reminds us there is a shared belief in equality, opportunity, inclusiveness, and all those ideals that are sometimes drowned out by the political rhetoric. Strong women since our founding have understood what is at stake in this great experiment in democracy, and Washington Women urges us to hold on to our belief in the possibility that that ideal America we learned about in school. Singing Washington Women makes me proud to be an American, and I don't say that very often, especially lately. But these words and this music keep me focused on what is good and what is possible and what we aspire to. Whether you've been participating in the choir or in the audience, you have helped bring this work of music to life. And I believe whenever we can be lifted up by music, there is hope. So no matter what you think is going to happen on Election Day or during its aftermath, let's keep the music going. Your generous offering tonight can help make that happen. In memory of Mary Lindsay, we will be sharing tonight's proceeds with the League of Women Voters. A generous gift tonight is an easy thing to do for your own mental health, for the health of our congregation, and for the health of our larger community. My name is Jane Wilson, and I approved this message. The offering will now be gratefully received.
thank you for joining us tonight. I have a few words in closing. We not only dream, we do. We not only see what has been, we see what we can be. With freedom comes responsibility. And that is our responsibility to one another, to our community, to our nation and world. Thank you for being here.